You can get the cards you need for today's Budget Magic deck and support the show from this episode's sponsor, Card Kingdom. Just follow the link in the description box down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading to Standard to play a deck that I'm actually really excited about. This is a deck built around Cavalcade of Calamity and also Goblins. This is Goblin Calamity, and this deck is just super sweet and super fun. Also, most importantly, since it's Budget Magic, super cheap. As you can see, $53 a paper, 9 takes on Magic Online, and I think the main deck has like 12 rares or something on Arena, a few more, 16 overall if you count the sideboard, so it's super cheap everywhere. It's super sweet. So a quick reminder before we break down Goblin Calamity for Standard. If you enjoy this deck, and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk some Goblin Calamity, starting with our namesake card, Cavalcade of Calamity. And this card, it's pretty simple, but it's also pretty sweet and pretty powerful. So 2-mana enchantment makes it so whenever you attack with a creature of power 1 or less, it deals 1 damage to whatever is being attacked, basically, a planeswalker or a player. So the idea of this deck is to go really wide with 1-power creatures, attack them all at our opponent, and we have this weird sort of like Hellrider-y enchantment that's going to just force through a ton of damage, and we have a pretty janky sweet combo that we'll talk about later. So step 1 to making Cavalcade work is a bunch of 1-powered creatures, and we start off with our 1-drop Goblins, and it just so happens that Goblins naturally fit well with Cavalcade because they got a bunch of ways to go wide with 1/1. So in the 1-drop slot, Fanatical Firebrand, 1-power creature, can also be an extra damage, like taking down things like Llanowar Elves is nice. Mono Blue can shoot down a lot of their creatures. Skirk Prospector, just a 1/1 for 1, but it has some upside in the late game where we can sacrifice our other Goblins, use that mana to activate abilities, maybe cast a big burn spell or something. So these cards start off our curve on 1. Then we have, in the 2-drop slot, Goblin Instigator, which is just 2 1-powered creatures in 1 card. It makes a 1/1 Goblin token when it comes into play, so that's a way we can get even more damage out of our Cavalcade of Calamity, because we're going to have 2 bodies that are attacking, triggering our Cavalcade. Then we have our 3-drop slot, and we start off with Legion Warboss, which is pretty simple. It's not a 1-powered creature, but it makes a 1-powered hasty goblin every single turn, and one of the downsides of Legion Warboss is that 1/1 tends to slam itself into blockers and die repeatedly, but if we can get a Cavalcade of Calamity or 2 on the battlefield, it doesn't really matter, because we're still forcing through damage, even as our goblin token repeatedly suicides itself into blockers, and the upside is high. If we manage to clear the blockers out of the way, Legion Warboss can win a game all by itself. Then we have Goblin Gatherings, which is a little weird. At first, it's like an expensive dragon fodder, 3 mana for 2 1/1s. Not a great deal, but it gets progressively better. The second copy gives us 3 goblins, third one 4 goblins, and then finally 5 goblins if we get all 4. So it gets better the more that we cast, but multiple 1-power bodies on the battlefield for our Cavalcade. Then we have, at the top of our curve, Siege Gang Commander, which is kind of like a combo finish with Skirk Prospector, since we can sack goblins for mana, then sack goblins to deal damage. It also puts 3 1/1s on the battlefield, so we can do some cool tricks if we have Cavalcade out, where we play Siege Gang, swing our entire team, get a bunch of Cavalcade triggers, and then, if our creatures are going to die in combat, sack them to Siege Gang to get in even more damage that way. So pretty sweet there. So that's our creature plan. Then we have the card that makes this deck so exciting and so fun, the Flame of Keld. So this is a card that I missed at first for the deck, and finally realized how awesome and perfect and amazing it is. So the thing about Flame of Keld is it's basically always good in this deck. Discarding your hand, that's fine. We have a cheap curve. We can empty our hand quickly. Drawing cards, that's great. The big deal, though, is that 3rd lore counter. The 3rd lore counter makes it so whenever a red source you control deals damage to a permanent or player this turn, you deal that damage +2, and it just so happens that Cavalcade of Calamity is a red source. So that means if we can ultimate our Flame of Keld, every creature that attacks before it even deals combat damage is going to be 3 damage, a lava spike to our opponent's face with Cavalcade of Calamity. So if we have like 5 or 6 goblins, we can potentially just kill our opponent right away. No questions asked. fast, and if any of those creatures gets through, that's even more damage. So essentially, on most board states, if we can have down even just one Cavalcade, and they stack it even better in multiples, but one Cavalcade plus Flame of the Keld last lore counter should just win the game almost all the time. So that's one of our big combos. Otherwise, Shock and Lightning Strike, mostly removal for the early game, getting blockers out of the way. A couple of Experimental Frenzies, we got more in the sideboard. Pretty much another card advantage engine to help against those grindy, like Sultai decks, control decks. And that's basically the deck. Mana base wise, 23 lands, sideboard, a bunch of removal customization options. Shock for the early game, Lava Coil to get rid of Drakes and Phoenixes, Fight with Fire to get rid of Lyras. Also, we can, if the game goes really long, maybe kick it. Banefire to help in the control matchup. A way we can steal games against like Turbo Fog and Control is just make all of our random 1/1s, which we're really good at doing, sack them all for mana to Skirk Prospector, and then just huge Banefire to close out the game. Otherwise, for more control-y, grindy matchups, Sorcerer Spyglass to shut down cards like Teferi, Experimental Frenzy, more card advantage for those matchups, and one more Siege Gang Commander, just a threat that puts multiple bodies on the battlefield, so hard to eat through with targeted removal. And that is Goblin Calamity for Standard, and that's our budget Magic deck for this week. So I'm really excited to play this deck. It looks a little bit weird, but it's actually super sweet, and I have been very impressed with the power of Cavalcade of Calamity. That card is really busted if you build around it, and it allows us to do some really weird, funny things in the format. Like against Turbo Fog, which would normally be absolutely horrible matchup for a deck like this. We're just playing a bunch of creatures, attacking, hoping our opponent doesn't have fogs. Cavalcade kind of solves that because we're dealing non-combat damage to close out the game. We get through blockers, which is another problem, and we have these absurd combo kills where our opponent might gain a bunch of life with a Wild Growth Walker, but Cavalcade, or maybe two Cavalcades, plus that last lore counter on Flame of the Keld, gonna be able to kill our opponent even if they're like 30, 40 life, which is pretty insane. So I'm excited to give Goblin Calamity a shot. I think it's gonna be pretty sweet. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let's get to the gameplay, see how Cavalcade of Calamity and Goblins work in practice. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. All right, budget Magic time. We are playing some Goblin Calamity in Standard, and our opponent's doing a bit of mulliganing. Well, Mountain Prospector. This hand's fine. We're basically hoping that this Frenzy is really good. Land and Storm Tamer. Well, Mountain, actually, let's just attack. If our opponent wants to trade, that's fine. No trade. Yeah, let's kill it. Storm Tamer, down. Land for our opponent. Mistcloak Herald. And passes. Well, play the Mountain. Go attacking. Opponent takes it. Hope like crazy for no Curious Obsession. And then we could start playing big things potentially. Opponent scries to the top. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Mono blue. Alright, opponent gets in, draws a card, of course. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ops. Passes. Well, play a Mountain. I'm not a huge fan of this, but we're going to cash in Prospector. Siege Gang is a way we can answer this Mistcloak Herald. Pass the turn. Opponent, land. Gonna attack, draw a card. Down to 16. Yep. And opponent. Tempest Shin. Passes. Well, play a Mountain. Let's go to combat. Attack. Opponent blocks. So we let it die. Alright, I think we can just sweep the board here. Hit our opponent to 15. Play Fanatical Firebrand. Hit Tempest Shin. Sack a Goblin. Kill Tempest Shin. Sack a Goblin. He'll miss Cloak Herald. Alright, it took a lot of cards, but we did clear the board. Land for our opponent. Anticipates, goes digging. If we can get down Frenzy, we probably win. Now let's play Instigator. Go to combat. Attack. Trickster. How do we want to do this? Yeah, let's just Lightning Strike. We can't afford to lose our Siege Gang. This is a really good removal spell on board. Anticipate for our opponent, goes digging. Opponent. Passes. Well, go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it. Frenzy. Got a counter? Alright, opponent's got Spell Pierce, sure. Land for our opponent, passes. I'll play the Mountain. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent to 5. I guess we win? I don't think Mono Blue can stop this. Sack a Goblin. 3. An opponent scoops it up! Take it down, Mono Blue! Goblins! Teaching Mono Blue a thing or two. Alright, Shock's in. Lava Coil's in. Go down. 23 lands. Let's go down 1 Siege Gang. 1 land. A Frenzy. A Siege Gang. And I guess 1 Prospector? Let's try it like that. Seems like it's functional-ish. Here we go, game 2. Can we take down the terror of Mythic Championship Cleveland? Alright, we're keeping this. It is sketchy. Island for our opponent. Terramander. Not a land. Well, Mountain and Shock Terramander. We really want a land or two. Opponent. Island. Anticipates. Come on, land. Land, land, land. Yup. Alright, there's a mountain. So play the land. Play Cavalcade. Pass the turn. Come on, another land. You can do a Magic Gods. Opponent opts. Land number 3 would be great. Opponent leaves it on top, draws a card. Lava Coil. Well, Cavalcade. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land. Do they find a threat? Not yet. Alright, so play a mountain. Play... Let's War Boss. Wow, Fairy Duelist. Oh. Alright. Well, that answers the War Boss. Opponent untaps. Land. There's the Curious Obsession. Do they have the ability to stop this... Lava Coil. Opponent passes. We'll play Prospector. Lava Coil. Another counter. Alright! Alright, boys and girls. Not looking great. Opponent. Drawing so many cards. Gets in. Draws a card. Down to 14. Yup. Opponent. Passes. I'll play a Mountain. Play Goblin Gathering. Opponent has a Trickster. Taps down Prospector. Alright. I mean, we have double Cavalcade. That is damage, but this Fairy Duelist... Also going to be so close. This Curious Obsession is an issue. Whoa! Okay. Selective Snare. Opponent gets in. That is not expected or good for us. I'll play a War Boss. Play Prospector. Oh, this has been This has been quite a hand for mono blue. I mean, that's the upside of drawing an extra card every turn, is you hit a lot. Okay. Curious Obsession, and we will scoop it up. Alright, well, they stuck the Curious Obsession and rode it to victory. Run it back. We get to play first, which is good. If mono blue can get down a threat and just leave up counters, it's very hard to beat. We had one turn where we could have answered it, but didn't work out. Alright, we'll keep it. This is another hand that really needs lands. Land Fanatical Firebrand. Go to combat. Attack. Even just land number 2 would go a long way. Opponent. Island. Terramander. We'll play Firebrand. Kill Terramander. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Only one land though. Opponent. Land. Passes. Alright, there's a land. So play the land. Play Cavalcade. No attacks. There's a Trickster. Taps down. Do they have the full combo? Land. Ooh, no Curious Obsession. That's good. Down to 18. Opponent passes. We hit a land. So play the land. Go to combat. Attack. Ping our opponent. Duelist. Alright. They get to kill our Firebrand. Drop to 17. Yup. Well, we Goblin Gathering. Opponent ups. To the bottom. I mean, next turn we have Flame of the Keld Shock. Land. Tempest Shin. That is a big ol' shin. Gets in. No blocks. Terramander. We draw. Shock. How many spells in the graveyard? 2. 1. Well, Shock. Tempest Shin. Shock. Tempest Shin. Go attacking. Hit our opponent for 4. Opponent trades. Yup, down to 14. Well, we'll see. Land for our opponent. Anticipates. Goes digging. Snaps off something. Opt. To the top. Attacks. 13. Well, play a mountain. Play the Flame of Keld. No attacks. Come on, Flame of Keld. It is up to you. Opponent ops. We need some good draws off this Flame to set up lethal Cavalcade when Flame goes off. To the bottom. Draws. Another Tempest Shin. That is scary. Opponent gets in. No blocks. Down to 10. Land. Cavalcade Firebrand. Well, play Cavalcade. Play a mountain. Play Firebrand. Pass the turn. It all comes down to this. Land for our opponent. Are we going to end up 2 damage short? I think we are. Opponent gets in for 7. We draw. War Boss. Flame of the Keld. War Boss. That should do it. Combat. Make a dork. Swing with the crew. And that is a lot of Cavalcade damage. That's a combo. 3 each. And mono blue. Get out of here. That is the plan. The clutch War Boss off the top. And that is the plan. Cavalcade of Calamity. Throw in a ultimate on the Flame of Keld, and life is good. Life is good. Alright, take that mono blue. Sweet. Alright. Budget magic time. We are playing some Calamity Goblins, and alright, we'll keep this. I mean, hopefully we draw land, but this hand's fine. Prospector, go. Pass the turn. Untap land. Land of War Elves. Yup. Come on, land. That is a land. Well, play the land. Shock Llanowar. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. Little worried about a... Okay, Branch Walker. That's fine. Hitting a land would be good for us. Alright, Branch Walker. Mills it. Well, play a Mountain. Play... Legion Warboss. Make a Dork. Yeah. It suicides itself. Pass the turn. 4 is for our opponent. Yeah, there goes our Warboss. Sure. Opponent. Gets in. No blocks. Down to 17. Passes. Well, go attacking with Prospector. Play Goblin Gathering. Pass the turn. Opponent's at 16. Jade Light. Let's see how they explore. Jade Light. Mills it. Llanowar. Mills it. Opponent gets in. No blocks. Well, play a Mountain. Sack a Goblin. Siege Gang. Pass the turn. And then next turn we have Cavalcade Goblin Gathering, and then we just start attacking and hope for the best. Land for our opponent. Wow, double attack. Alright. No blocks. Down to 7. Well, sack Siege Gang. Yup. We draw a Mountain. Well, play the Mountain. Play Goblin Gathering. Play Cavalcade. Attack for a lot. Opponent. Down to 6. What do you got, opponent? You need something really good to not get cavalcaded out of the game. And opponent does not have it. And Goblin Calamity. Taking down Sultai, I assume, or Golgari. Alright, in this matchup, our main concern is dealing with Wild Growth Walker. That's the card that's scary for us. I think we go down 2 Shocks, go up 2 Lava Coils. Go down... Let's go up 1 Fight with Fire, and go down 1 Siege Gang Commander, and maybe go down a Lightning Strike for a Fight with Fire. Let's try it like that. Well, game 1 went good. That is the power of Cavalcade. When we have a Cavalcade out, the damage just piles up. It's come so quickly. Alright, we're on the draw. Alright, only 1 land, but snap it off. We can deal with a turn 1 Llanowar. Alright, Mountain, Firebrand. Go attacking. Opponent. How about no Wild Growth Walkers? Wild Growth Walker. Now play a Prospector. Pass the turn. This is kind of the nightmare. This could get pretty out of control here. Wild Growth Walker. Untap land, Jade Light. Opponent goes back up to 21. Well, kill Jade Light. And, yeah, gain your life. There's a cast down. Mills it. Find Finality. Mills it. Looking for lands. Opponent, yeah. Well, we did not have the answer. Opponent gets in. No blocks. Fanatical Firebrand. Well, we are getting a bit punished for our risky keep. Hit our opponent down to 19. Yeah. Branch Walker. Explores. Grows the Wild Growth Walker. Vraska's Contempt. Mills it. Gains some life. Well, we're getting to the land or bust part of the game. Lava Coil too late. Alright. Yeah. Never trust the magic gods. The 1 lander not paying off here. Opponent. Yeah. Well, alright. We won't scoop, but we're very close. Opponent hits the land, gains some life. Land untap, because why not? Gets in for 1,000,000. Yeah, even if we draw a land here, I think it's just too slow. Yeah, we don't. All right, well, don't keep one-landers, boys and girls. The magic gods will frown upon you. Yeah, we got pretty punished for keeping that one-lander. That's for sure. Let's go back up a lightning strike, down 1 prospector. We're on it like that. All right, deck. All right, magic gods. Give us a nice opening hand on the play. So we get to play first. Well, okay. No 1-drops. Double Cavalcade. Do we hit land number 3 to start playing stuff? And does our opponent Wild Growth Walker? Well, land Instigator. Opponent. Tap land. Well, play Instigator. Go attacking. So we didn't hit the land, but we are drawing stuff we can cast. Opponent, tap land, Wild Growth Walker. Well, play the mountain, Legion Warboss. Make a dork, all-out attack. Opponent blocks, takes their beads. The life gate is coming, though. We don't have the answer for it. Opponent. Land. Branch Walker, of course. Into a duress. Keeps it. Mills it. All right. Up to 17. Cast down on Warboss. Opponent. No attacks. Well, Goblin Gathering. No attacks. Land. Crosses. Opponent. No attacks. Goblin Gathering. No attacks. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Untap land. Branch Walker. Cast down. Up to 19. Hostage Taker. Oh, opponent. Okay. Attacks. We draw. Land. Okay, we got to do math. We got to do math. Opponent's at 19. We have 8 creatures. That's 16 damage. That's game. That's game. I think we got it. Land. Cavalcade. Cavalcade. All attack. Oh boy! Through Wild Growth Walker gaining life, the Cavalcade! Taking down Sultai! That is a lot of triggers, down to 3. Opponent can't block enough. They're taking 4, and that is the game. And that is Goblin Calamity crushing! Crushing! One of the most played decks in the format. Scoops it up. Oh boy! Wow! That was that was pretty impressive. That was pretty impressive of Goblin Calamity. Whew! Cavalcade. 2 of them is pretty nuts. Our opponent was at 19 and had gained 6 life that game, and we killed them with 4 lands and a bunch of 1/1s. That is sweet. All right, sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. Budget magic time. We are playing some oh my god. Speaking of Calamity, this hand, we gotta mulligan this. We did not mulligan this. We kept it. Well, Fanatical Firebrand, go. That was a misclick. Let's go with misclick. Opponent. Alright, play a mountain. Play Cavalcade. Go attacking. Well, let's see. This was a land-heavy hand, but if we draw a lot of non-lands, we have hope. Opponent. Tap land. Passes. Well, play a mountain. Yeah, play Warboss. Who resolves? Okay. Make a dork. This might be working. Get in. Hit our opponent. Down to 13. Oh, and we have Flame of the Keld in hand. Now this hand actually looks really good. Opponent, tap land. Mortifies Cavalcade. All right. Play a mountain. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Counter on the dork. Opponent to 7. Alright, play Prospector. Pass the turn. Opponent needs a sweeper. Alright, they have Kaya's Wrath. Staying alive. Opponent passes. Well, play a mountain, play Siege Gang. Opponent needs another sweeper. Oh, Kaya's Wrath number 2. Well, Lightning Strike our opponent. Flame of the Keld. Is our opponent going to stabilize at 4 with double Kaya's Wrath? Tap land. Opponent. Passes. Play a mountain. Siege Gang. Alright, opponent goes to 6. We still get the Goblins. Does our opponent have another Wrath? Technically, this is still lethal. Tap land. Oh my god, Kaya's Wrath again. Oh, play War Boss. Play Instigator. Go to combat. Hit our opponent to 3. Do they have another Wrath? Got hit by 3 Wraths. Teferi. I don't think Teferi does it though. Opponent draws. This is desperate. This is desperate. Untaps 2 lands. We draw nothing. Well, go to combat. Make a dork. Cast down. Okay. Everything at you. And opponent. We got there somehow through triple Wrath. Triple Wrath. And we were still able to win. If you had told me that our opponent would play 3 Wraths and that we would win the game, I would not have believed you. Well, bring in our control stuff. Go down Shocks. Go up Experimental Frenzy, Sorcerer, Spyglass. It's risky to go down all of our removal because of our opponent potentially bringing in Thief of Sanity. I guess we have Siege Gang. All right, let's go down Lightning Strikes. What else can we cut? Maybe like a couple of Fanatical Firebrands. Yeah, maybe we stick with 3 Siege Gangs. Run it like that. That was a very impressive win for Goblins. 3 Wraths, and we were still able to take them down. We didn't even have a Calamity. Ooh, alright. This hand is full of action. Tap land. Well, Mountain, Prospector. Opponent. Glacial Fortress passes. Well, play the Mountain. Play Cavalcade. Alright. That is annoying. Opponent. Tap land. Passes. Well, Goblin Instigator. Pass the turn. Missing on lands isn't the most ideal. We got to get in damage before our opponent finds Teferi. Isolated Chapel. Opponent. Passes. There's a mountain. So play the mountain. Play Cavalcade. Go to combat. Attack. Trigger. 4 free damage. Yep. Okay, Contempt's an Instigator. Well, play Prospector. Pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? Come on, no Kaya's Wrath. Tap land. They have Kaya's Wrath. All right. Well, play War Boss. Play a mountain. Make a dork. Attack for 3. Double trigger. Opponent down to 15. Land to fairy. Okay. Ooh, Tuck's a war boss. Well, play a war boss. Combat. Attack to fairy. Attack our opponent. Kill to fairy. Opponent down to 11. Land. Bell Haunt. Well, discard Frenzy. Play Frenzy. Make a dork. Go attacking. Oh, stack up them triggers. Opponent to 8. Opponent blocks. Down to 6. Invoke the Divide to stay alive just barely. Bell Haunt. Gets our Siege Gang. Yup. Top of our deck. Mountain. Mountain. I'll go to combat. Attack. Opponent down to 12. Mountain on top's pretty bad. Our Frenzy fizzling. Opponent draws. Whoa. Okay, no attacks. Passes. We draw the mountain. Oh, we are fizzling like crazy. Frenzy. Mountain. Another mountain. Attack. Opponent down to 11. Blocks. Untaps. These frenzies have been so poor. We draw the mountain. Play the mountain. Cavalcade. That's a good one. Well, then fizzle, but combat. Goblin. So this is opponent blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, let's attack with all the 1/1s. But not War Boss. Ping for 6. Yup. Opponent blocks. And blocks. Sure. Yeah, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They're dead to Calamity triggers. Opponent. Passing? Okay. Instigator. Mountain. Spyglass. Are we just crushing people with Goblin Calamity? Oh, this is working so well. Opponent, what are you doing? What are you doing? Are they gonna do the salty timeout? They don't like getting cavalcaded? Oh, got him. I actually like the salty timeout. Like, it's annoying to sit through, but it kind of makes you proud that you janked your opponent so severely that they feel the need to do the salty timeout. All right, opponent negates. Maybe they weren't doing the salty timeout. Well, go to combat. Make a dork. Attack. Calamity. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and 0. And that is ranking up in Diamond with Goblin Calamity. Yes. All right. Sure. Sweet. All right. Budget Magic time. We are playing some Goblin Calamity, and all right, as long as we don't land, this is fine. No calamities, but we got a lot of 1/1s for when we find it. Mountain, go. Island for our opponent. Well, all right. Fanatical Firebrand. Kill Terramander. Play a mountain. Pass the turn. Island for our opponent. Storm Tamer. And Storm Tamer. Alright, play Goblin Instigator. Ooh, that would have been a good land turn. Come on, no Curious Obsessions, please. Land for our opponent. Gets it. Down to 18. Play Fanatical Firebrand. Go to combat. Opponent Tricksters. Well, I'd rather them Trickster now. So now we won't slam our creatures into our opponent's board. Alright, taps down Firebrand. Play Prospector. Pass the turn. Island. Opponent attacks. No blocks. Down to 14. Alright, play a mountain, play War Boss. Go to combat. Make a dork. Go attacking. Opponent down to 17. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Another Storm Tamer. Opponent. Attacks. Attacks. Sure. Down to 12. Untap. Mountain. Well, play the mountain, play a War Boss. Go to combat. Make some dorks. Go attacking. Grow a dork. Opponent blocks. Down to 11. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Scoops it up. Goblin Calamity. No Curious Obsession. Maybe we've actually stumbled across something. 2 shocks in. 3 lava coils in. Go down. 1 Siege Gang. A Frenzy. A Prospector. A Flame of Keld. And let's go 1 Siege Gang. Run it like that. Up a game. Only need 1 more. Only need 1 more against Mono Blue. Goblin Calamity crushing it. Crushing it. We are on the draw. I don't think we can mulligan too aggressively for it, but... Ooh, alright. This is pretty fine. Island for our opponent. Siren, Storm Tamer. Well, Mountain, Shock Storm Tamer. Untap. Mistcloak Herald. Opponent passes. Well, Mountain... Yeah, let's kill it. Kill Mistcloak Herald. There's some temptation to wait and try to catch a Curious Obsession, but... Opponent opts. Looking for land. To the bottom. Do they find it? Yes. Well, Mountain, Goblin Gathering. Pass the turn. Search for his Kanta. Well, Goblin Instigator. Skirk. Prospector. Go to combat. All attack. Opponent. Down to 18. We got a pretty good board of goblins, and these calamities are potentially devastating. Opponent leaves it on top. Land. Tempestion. Oh, come on, land. Instigator. Well, play Cavalcade. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent. Down to 14. Blocks a goblin. Yup. Down to 12. Well, sack a goblin. Play Instigator. Pass the turn. Iskanta doing its thing, but I think we might be getting there. Especially if this Cavalcade resolves, then it should just be game. And I don't know if our opponent can afford to leave up counter magic. They're far enough behind on board that if we just keep attacking with everything, they're probably not... Wow, Mill's a Trickster. What are they looking for? Trickster seems like one of their better bets here. Terramander. No attacks. Well, play Calamity. Spell Pierce. Well... Sack a goblin. Pay. Go to combat. Attack. 8 damage from Cavalcades. Dive down. Sure, that's fine. Opponent's going to end this at 1, but then their problem is all we got to do is attack with a creature and they lose. Sure. Yeah. Down to 1. Can you keep us from ever attacking with a creature? That's the question. They flip his Kanta. Also sure. That's going to be a lot of tricksters for us to never be able to attack. We don't even got to get through with the attack. We just got to... Okay, deep freeze. And scoops it up! And Cavalcade Goblins taking down Mono 2. The rank up continues, and we're just gonna go to Mythic with Cavalcade Goblins of all things. All right. We'll take it. Sure. All right. Budget magic time. We are playing some Cavalcade of Calamity Goblins. Ugh. Well, that's not gonna work. No lands. Yeah, this is actually a pretty fine 6. I like Flame of the Keld. See what's on top of our deck. Gathering. Yeah, alright, sure. That's fine. Well, Mountain, Firebrand. Go attacking. Memorial. Well, play a land. Go attacking. Pass the turn. That's a little scary. The Nexus matchup, that probably is one of our well, Cavalcade actually seems good against Nexus. Play a Mountain, go to combat, attack. Hit our opponent. 17. Goblin Gathering. Opponent's gonna go rampant. Plays a land. Alright, pass the turn. Do they have Wilderness Reclamation? This feels like a hard matchup. Alright, Little Crosses. Sure. Well, play a Mountain. Shock Crosses. Play Flame of Keld. Go to combat. Attack. Pass the turn. Land for our opponent. Draws some cards. Ugh, we really need 2 turns to win. Are we going to get 2 turns? That is a big question. If our opponent finds Wilderness Reclamation, they could potentially just combo off next turn. I mean, that's also dependent on what we draw. Leaves 1 on top, alright. We draw a Mountain. Ugh, that was a horrible draw. Well... Play a land, play a Prospector. Go to combat. Opponent to 12. Ooh, yeah. Land. Prospector, not great. Search for his Kanta. Opponent passes. That gives us some amount of hope. Play a land. Go to combat. Attack. Root Snare. So opponent takes 0. We play Siege Gang. 1-2 sack. 1-2 sack. 1-2. I think this is enough. Wait. 1-2 sack. 1-2 sack. 1-2 sack. This should be Xaxes. Alright, so sacrifice a goblin. Siege Gang Commander. Throw a goblin. Sack a goblin. Sack a goblin. Throw a goblin. Whoa, this win. Sack a goblin. Sack a goblin. And this is exactly enough goblins. And exactly enough mana. And exactly enough damage. That's old triple Xaxes, we call it. Oh boy! Exact in every possible way. If we had 1 less mana, 1 less goblin, 1 less turn, 1 less damage, we would not have won that game. So the downside of this is we are just basically at the whims of our opponent. We have, other than just getting in early damage, we do not really have... Well, go up Banefires, go down Shocks. Run it like that? I mean, I think we just got to attack and cross our fingers and hope. We won that one somehow. All right, we'll keep it. Tap land for our opponent. Well, Mountain, Prospector, go. Land for our opponent. Grow Spiral, getting their ramp on. There's a land. Well, Mountain, Fanatical Firebrand. Go attacking. All right, pass the turn. What do you got, opponent? Tap land, passes. Well, Mountain, War Boss. Go to combat, make it dork. Attack with everything. Opponent to 15. Pass the turn. I mean, this is all we can do. Run it out there, cross our fingers. Murmuring Mystic. Opponent passes. Well, play Prospector. Play Instigator. Go to combat, make a dork. Attack with everything. Counter on Prospector. The other thing is we could just draw Banefire. If we just draw Banefire, we win. Yeah, pass the turn. All right, opponent, show us what you got. Oh, there's Wilderness Wreck. Okay. Cavalcade would also be insane. Goblin Gathering. Well, go to combat. Make a dork. Attack. Attack, 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 attack. Counter on Prospector. There's the Root Snare. Makes a dork. Yeah, let's Flame of Keld. Alright. Kill us if you can. Land for our opponent. Well, here comes extra turns. End step. Floating mana. Yup. Nexus. Not sure why they didn't attack there, but okay. Makes a bird. Shuffles in. Draws. Chemister's Insight. Makes a bird. Land. Did they hit a Nexus? They did. Yup. Opponent needed to hit that land and hit a Nexus, but they managed to do it. And now they're probably going to win from here. Well, there is a fizzle rate, but our opponent is not fizzling. Another Wilderness Reclamation. Grow Spiral. Makes a bird. Opponent. Draws a card. No lands. That means they have 3 good cards in hand. Untaps. Still not attacking with all their infinite turns. Interesting. Well, maybe there's some fizzle potential. Draws 2. There's not an extra turn. We would love our Banefire. Mountain. I'll play a Mountain. We did not hit any of the things we wanted. Go to combat. Make a dork. Attack. Attack with everything. Counter on Instigator. Chemister's Insight. Makes a bird. Opponent draws. Blocks. Blocks. Alright. Opponent to 3. Lightning Strike the face. Oh! We got him! Taking down all covers! Ranking up in Diamond Tier, Goblin Calamity! Oh, Lord. This deck, it's working. It is working. Turbo Fog felt so miserable, but Goblin Calamity, I just don't care. I don't care. Don't care how many birds you make. Game. All right. Well, that was impressive. That was super impressive. Sweet. So what did we learn this week about Goblin Calamity in Standard? And the deck absolutely kind of crushed it. We were playing on Magic Arena, up in Diamond, which is one step below Mythic, so pretty good competition, and we played all tier decks, and we beat them all. 5 for 5, ranking up from the lowest level of Diamond up through Diamond 3, beating, what did we beat? Sultai Midrange, Mono Blue twice, Esper Control, and Turbo Fog, and Goblin Calamity had an answer for them all. We fought through Nexus of Fates, we fought through Wild Growth Walkers, getting our opponent a ton of life, and the power of our enchantments, it was so good, it's so powerful. So I was very impressed with the deck's performance. I mean, doing well with a $50 deck is one thing. Doing well at a relatively high rank, playing all tier decks, it's not like we feasted on people playing arena starter decks or anything, is actually very impressive for this deck. So I was very happy with how the deck turned out. Cavalcade is absolutely great. The combo with Flame of Keld is great. And the Goblins are pretty good on their own. We're able to just go really wide. Thankfully, we're in a format right now where the cards that really punish us, like Goblin Chain Whirler, so good against our deck, are really heavily played. So I think it's a good time for a go wide 1/1 deck. We've seen like Selesnya tokens doing well recently. This deck has some similar features, and I feel like the metagame is in a place where we can kind of sneak in and get a lot of wins. We have card advantage power in Experimental Frenzy and Flame of Keld, plus a lot of like 2-for-1 creatures to fight through control. We have a ton of removal for Mono Blue. Even just like Fanatical Firebrand is really sweet. Plus we get Shocks and Lightning Strikes and a bunch of sideboard stuff, so that helps there. And then against the kind of grindy mid-range decks, eventually we just stack up our Calamities and have a bunch of dorks. Sure, you have huge blockers, way bigger than our creatures, but you can't stop the Cavalcade damage. The Calamity is coming for you, whether you want to or not. So I was super happy with the deck. For $50, 9 ticks, 12 main deck rares or whatever, it seems like a really legit budget option for Standard, and really fun to play too. So anyway, that's been our budget magic for this week. Goblin Calamity for Standard. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.